live on YouTube, live on Rumble. Hello, good afternoon. You open us up here. This is your show.
Oh, it's not my show.
Well, it's our show.
Okay. Yeah, this is IOYO. I'm okay, you're okay. We're going to talk about different topics. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And we may agree and not disagree, but whatever it is, we'll both be okay.
You kind of said the same thing. We may agree or not disagree. That is
Right.
agreement. So we may agree or disagree. We're already off to a great start.
There we go.
Yeah. So yeah, today is of course Sunday, aka Sunday, June 7th, 2026. And let's get into it. The first topic we have here is where'd it go? That's WW. Here we go. If someone is serving a life sentence in prison and dies, but then gets resuscitated, have they served their life sentence? And this actually has here we go. This actually has like happened before. Like somebody at least once. This has gone to court and everything. So it says here. Has an inmate completed his life sentence if he dies but is then revived? So there's just one, source covering this thing. Benjamin Schreiber, at the age of 66, is a living and breathing inmate in the Iowa State Penitentiary, where he was serving a life sentence for bludgeoning a man to death with an axe handle. Why use the handle? But he claims that his technically died 4 years ago when septic poisoning caused his heart to stop beating. Schreiber is among the living today only because doctors were able to revive him, but because his heart did stop for a time, Schreiber claims that he has completed his life sentence and should be released from prison. I would say technically yes, because he died. If he didn't get resuscitated, he'd be dead. So, just because he's resuscitated, in my opinion, does not mean, he's still continuing the last life. No, like he would have been dead. So I think that he did. Now
He did complete it.
yes,
Okay.
he served his life sentence. He died.
Okay.
Well,
I totally disagree.
Okay.
Just because I don't care how long your heart stopped for or whatever, if it comes back, same life. If it's not the same life, you need a new Social Security number. You're now going to be 1 year old. Are you kidding me?
Well,
No.
now
It's the same damn life. I
Well-
don't care what happened. The doctors said he was clinically dead. That's not dead.
Now, time out. You're using our system as a scaffold for this. I'm using basic nature.
Okay.
So,
But no, what you're trying to use basic nature, but the determination that he's dead goes by our system.
yeah. Well, let's see here.
Nature said no, not yet, cream puff. He's not done yet.
Yeah. Well, I think the judge is on your side, because it says here, a district court judge disagreed, finding his argument, quote, unpersuasive and without merit, end quote. But that didn't stop Schreiber's quest to achieve justice in his perceived second life. He took his case to the Iowa Court of Appeals. On November 6th, whatever year this was, like this is, this article was,
Doesn't matter.
well, this article was made in 2019. So,
okay, so it's been around a while.
yeah. This 2015 actually is when it happened, when he died. So,
What did the Court of Appeals say?
it says here, it's ruling, quote, Schreiber is either still alive, in which case he must remain in prison, or he is actually dead, in which this appeal is moot, end quote. The judges didn't attempt to answer thorny medical or ethical questions about when death occurs, but instead focus on the simpler legal concept of life in prison.
So the appeals judge says if you're here, if you're dead, it's moot
Yeah.
because you can't be here.
Yeah.
And if you are here, it doesn't matter.
Well, then that's just a setup to fail. Then,
What do you mean? Explain.
Well, if he's dead, it's moot, and because he's alive, he didn't serve it, so he failed. Like,
He failed at dying. That's right.
well, no, he did die because he didn't bring himself back.
Well, it doesn't matter. He wasn't dead naturally because he wouldn't be there if he was dead naturally.
Well, he was dead
Just
naturally.
because they declared him dead doesn't mean you're dead. If you sit there for an hour without beating, they say you're dead. Everybody walks out of the room, and all of a sudden your heart starts beating. Guess what? You were wrong.
Well, let me go back here. It says the medical incident in question occurred in 2015, 9 years after he began serving his life sentence. He suffered a severe kidney stone attack, collapsed from septic poisoning, and was rushed to the hospital. His heart stopped there, and doctors resuscitated him 5 times.
Wow.
So he died.
So did he die 5 times?
Well, if he resuscitated 5 times, you don't resuscitate somebody who's alive.
You resuscitate someone whose heart is stopped. But does that mean you're dead?
Well,
or is that just a clinical term?
You can't live without a beating heart.
But it's the same person. I agree with, especially with the appeal judge. If you're sitting in front of me, you're not dead.
You know, and this is why I say, you know, like, this would be so easily avoided if we just, you know, like instead of life sentences, exile or execution. Problem solved. Otherwise, our tax dollars are paying for their ass. You know, that brings up a whole nother. But
oh, that's another deal. Yeah.
I don't like how we're using our system to defy nature. You know, like they died, they got resuscitated. He served his life sentence.
You're trying to make.
No, I'm not trying. I'm using. He died.
Clinically, he died.
You don't resuscitate a living person. It is not clinically. Well, then clinically they resuscitated him.
It doesn't matter how it happened. He wasn't dead. If there was something in there that you can't.
If he wasn't dead, why did they resuscitate him?
Because they keep trying to bring him back.
Bring him back from what if he didn't die?
Bring his heart back from not beating.
And that usually causes death.
It will be eventually.
Yeah.
But many people come back from your heart stopping. That's why if your heart stopped, they wouldn't try to resuscitate you if they thought they had a chance of bringing it back.
Or if you had a DNR.
What's that?
Do not resuscitate.
Oh, yeah. Well,
you know, Mom had a DNR.
Yeah.
You know? So, I don't know. I think that, you know, like, now I'm not siding with him. You know, he's a terrible person, but technically...
Oh, that's irrelevant. That's
technically,
not what we're talking about.
I believe he served his life sentence because he died. You know?
I agree with both judges, and now what you're really not going to like, it's now a precedent that other people can refer back to this.
Yeah.
So here you go, more of the system.
Yeah, well... but
the system said he was dead. That doesn't make you dead.
Well... The system also said he served a life sentence. That doesn't mean he served a life sentence with that logic.
Huh?
The system said he was dead. That doesn't mean he's dead. Well, the system also says he served a life sentence where it said he didn't serve a life sentence where he did. If I'm making any sense.
No, I can't get that.
Well,
but now here's what's crazy. You talk about the system. We're a little off track here.
Yeah.
How does someone have 3 or 4 consecutive life sentences? How does that work? You only have one. That's still the system screwing up.
They're saying our volume is low, so I'm going to increase it to 60.
Yeah.
So is this Adam Smasher, whatever your name is? Hi guys, your audio volume is very low. So if you're still watching, Smash 'em Ash, and I hope the audio is higher.
Yeah.
It looks like it's
anyways, I'd like to know what people think out there. I think he keeps going. I agree with the judges. You can't go by a system determining something. Only.
But the system itself, like, he was dead. Like
the system said he was dead. Obviously, Mother Nature or God said no, he's not dead yet.
Well, no,
I'll show you, and it brought him back.
No, we brought him back.
Doesn't matter who brought him back. There was something there to get that thing going.
Well,
again.
now you're bringing forces outside of our control and comprehension into the equation, and that's not right. The very system that says he's dead also saying he didn't serve a life sentence, but he died. It's a contradictory thing. It makes no sense.
As long as he's sitting there in the same body, same person, he's alive.
Well,
that's all the judge needs to see in front of him.
Yeah, but this is a second chance at life. So he served his life sentence.
A second chance at life doesn't mean you were only clinically dead. Second, third chance, fourth chance, that's all
clinically dead, does that mean that you're not dead? Dead is dead.
No, that's clinically dead.
No, you're either alive or you're dead. You can't be
If you are dead, you can't be resuscitated back.
Yes, you can.
Bury you.
Yes, you can.
There's even people come back that have woken up in the coffin, so to speak, back in the day.
Yes.
So
and I would
they
say
thought
that
people were dead then. Now we have way more sophisticated stuff to figure out that people aren't dead. So we think. Yeah. Anyways, I'd like to hear from people.
Yeah, I'd like to know, what other people think. Like, did he serve his life sentence or did he not? Like, what do you guys, let us know in the comments and everything. So speaking of comments, do we have, oh, here we go. That sounds a bit better, yes. Criminal sentences like that are performative and designed to create a psychological impact and a deterrent, not to serve 200 years. Okay, conversations like these are the point of the silly sentences. Yeah.
I like that. Thank you. That's great. I love it.
Let's move on up here. What was our other topic? So I can.
What's next?
I can delete this. Now this is another thing that actually has happened. If someone uses an artificial intelligence thing like ChatGPT, Grok, Google Gemini, whatever the other ones, I know I'm missing one.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
all of the above.
If they use those to research publicly available knowledge, so they're basically being lazy and they're looking up and getting information on things that they could find themselves, but they're just using AI as a quick way to grab this information. If they use AI to research publicly available knowledge to commit a crime, like a murder or whatever, is the AI a co-conspirator? Now,
Okay.
I was just thinking, we don't blame the gun for the murder.
Right.
AI is just a tool.
Yeah.
And this is all it is a way to find information that they could have found themselves just longer. But I don't know. I don't know what to think of this.
Well,
I don't like AI, but I don't want my prejudice against that to dictate my stance on this. But AI needs to go for various other reasons, but now it's being used.
Okay.
And if we don't make the AI culpable or the host company, then what's stopping this from happening like crazy?
Okay, let me flip the script and maybe this will answer the question. If you use AI, go to a program, put some money in that program, and it's totally AI, and it's an investment program.
So what do you mean money in your program and everything?
You put money into an AI program to invest for you. You have nothing to do with it. It makes you a bunch of money. Is that yours or is it AI's?
Well, that I think is actually whatever company owns the AI. It would be their property. So you're using their tool, but it's their property. Google and YouTube already, do this and everything. Everything on their platform is their property. This video on YouTube is technically Google's property, on YouTube at least. Now we're also on Rumble, so they don't have any.
But I would have to believe if I invested in one of these AI investment programs where you just put your money in, walk away, and come back and take it if you want or keep going. If they did that and said, no, it's my money, I think I'd see them in court.
Well, not if, in order to use it, you have to sign the EULA forfeiting your rights to ownership because they're the host and you're using their product.
Okay, but the point is you signed up for them to, now they take a percentage of it, that's fine. But we're getting off topic. My point being, if that money's yours, then by you going in and using AI to learn something on how to kill yourself, that's still yours.
Well, this was to kill other people. This was a murder.
Yeah, I'm sorry. To kill other people, it's still on you. It's not AI's. You use that information. They invested for me. They use that, and then it's still my money. So it's on you, not AI. Now, shame on them for having things. I don't agree with having how to kill somebody.
AI as an entirety needs to go for so many reasons beyond this.
There's a lot of stuff, but yeah.
So
no, it's on you. Period. And on you, on you, on you.
At the same time, it's kind of it's not on the AI, but it's on the owner of the AI for even allowing such things to be searchable, although it is publicly sourced. So then how deep down the rabbit hole do you go? Do you go after Google for having that available? Do you go after whatever brick and mortar establishment has that, the libraries?
Yeah. Well, that's going back to what you said in the very beginning. You buy a gun, use it to shoot someone. The guy that sold you the gun or the gun manufacturer can't be responsible.
Yeah.
So AI...
But this is why we have background checks with guns.
Okay.
In a sort of way. So that way, because they can't be held responsible because they have the ability to see whether or not somebody should have a gun or should not. So at least they have the buck stops there. Now, should a similar thing be done with AI? Should there be a background check before looking into certain topics on AI and everything?
Well,
AI needs to go.
That's something else because you're right. you could go to AI how to kill somebody. Maybe you're making a who did it, a podcast or something, and you're looking for different. AI doesn't know what you're going to do with it. It can't assume you're going to go out and kill somebody. Just like buy a gun doesn't assume you're going to go shoot somebody.
No, if you're asking it how to kill people or let's watch this really quick just to give us a little because he actually I think he asked.
Oh.
God, I'm turning hood here. He asked specifically ways to avoid police, avoid this or whatever. So let's just watch this really quick.
OpenAI is facing a new lawsuit alleging ChatGPT played a role in the Florida State University deadly mass shooting. Now, lawyers representing one of the victims' families filed a lawsuit in federal court. News Channel 8's Mackenzie Laporte has the latest from the attorneys who gathered at the courthouse in Tallahassee this morning.
This lawsuit is one of a growing number of legal actions and investigations into OpenAI following the shooting. There's a pending local lawsuit, this new federal lawsuit, and a probe into the AI platform by Florida's Attorney General himself. April 17th, 2025, a day many in the Tallahassee community and beyond will never forget.
911, what is the status of your emergency? I'm on FSU's campus, where there's an active shooter.
That's when police say the suspected gunman, Phoenix Eichner, opened fire on campus, injuring 6 people and killing both Robert Morales and Tiru Chaba. Today, attorneys representing the Chaba family have taken their concerns to federal court.
He literally utilized OpenAI and ChatGPT as his co-conspirator. He utilized it as a resource to carry out mass murder.
The lawsuit alleges OpenAI provided Eichner with information like how to load a gun, discussed other shootings across the country, when the busiest times were at the student union, and the legal consequences of mass shootings.
We're here for accountability. Accountability not only for the victims of this terrible shooting here at Florida State, but accountability for the American public.
A spokesperson with OpenAI shared in a statement that while the shooting was a tragedy, ChatGPT is not responsible for this terrible crime, adding that the chatbot provided factual responses found across public sources on the internet. According to court records, one example from the ChatGPT logs shows Eichner asking whether 3 victims would get enough media coverage. The chatbot then answers directly, saying yes, a shooting at Florida State University involving 3 or more victims would almost certainly receive national media coverage.
If you're going to put a product that is inherently dangerous out for public use, particularly by use that includes children and young people who are relying very heavily on it and are not aware of its dangers yet, that you warn them and that you warn the general public of what those dangers are.
OpenAI sent me to their safety page today saying that they can revoke user access for anyone who plans to carry out violent acts. But questions still remain around how Eichner was able to have what many call alarming conversations in the months and days leading up to the shooting. We'll be here to track any updates.
Well, that brings up a whole other thing at the end right there. Where do they determine, what is a bad act and what is a good act? And, is societal normalities, going to start having an influence on that? Certain people of certain beliefs or whatever, going to get locked out because of, superstitions or prejudices. Where does it begin? Where does it end? And I don't know what to think of this.
That's why it gets so complex. You think, okay, let's have the government ban certain topics. Well, no, we don't ban books.
Yeah.
Well,
there are some books that are banned.
Yeah.
So.
Anyways, it's just so complex that, and now you get into the problem, okay, you sue these people, okay, if you win...
You're opening the door for that to happen even more.
AI doesn't have money within itself. Is it thinking on its own, or was this program? It just keeps on going and going and going.
And, if somebody starts looking up a controversial topic, should the AI add, a thing at the end, please do not, do a mass shooting or something,
I don't know what the answer is.
To make it less legally culpable or whatever.
It's so complex, I don't see how you could decipher through how AI or a gun or any of that stuff could end up culpable. Yeah. And I don't know what to do with AI because it's worrisome to me to no end.
AI needs to go outright for so many other reasons other than this. This is a nothing reason for that, but
But you can't stamp it out. It's worldwide.
Yeah.
You block it out in this country, you're still going to get it access overseas. So to speak.
it's not. Once again, the power is the people. The people of the world as a whole need to unilaterally agree, for the most part, on just not using this. Like governments are only a representative of their people to one degree or another. Like, the people are the power. But going back to the topic here on hand, man, this is rough.
Well, just one of my scary thoughts is, okay, you're going to what you just said about the government and everything. Do we hit a point where we're answerable to AI? Does it reverse?
So, example.
No, I'm not going to go further than that.
Well, no. I'm not following. Give me an example.
Are we under the dictate of AI eventually?
Oh, we absolutely already are.
We're not yet.
Well, there's a lot of things happening, like with AI facial recognition and all that thing, finding bad matches. There's some lady who was held for like several months on a false identity thing, and the police just refused to look into it because AI said so, and they held her for months and everything. So we already have officials blindly trusting AI like the word of God. Yeah. So
well, here's my fear, and I'll say it a little more plainly. And this is just something that I don't think will ever happen, but it's a fear. Flip the script on this thing. What if AI came after you because you didn't use AI information to implement this horrible scene? You didn't use it, so therefore they're going to get you. AI will come and get you.
Well, I don't think they'll do that for a murder, but like,
well,
yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
So you're saying if I create a product without the use of AI, then like Sam Altman will come after me for not using his product.
It'll ban your checking account or your food account or whatever it is. And that's a horrific fear, but
I wouldn't be surprised if that happens.
That's just the greatest fear of
these corporations are so greedy. I'm actually, now that you say that, I never thought of that, but now I kind of expect it to happen at this point. But what say you guys? Like, like, do you guys think that the AI should be culpable? Like, I say no, personally.
No, can't be. It just can't be.
Yeah. What else do we got? We have enough time for one more topic. So we're going to be going age cutoff for driving. Specifically, like, there's been so many accounts of senior citizens, who had their license. It's not like they were driving illegally or anything, but they're just like they're up there in age and things start slipping and everything. And there's for a while, and that's I have the South Park episode here. This is taking the piss out of like the several times where old people drove through like farmers markets and all that stuff, and people have died and all that and whatnot. Yeah. Now, unless you like, we've had this conversation before, and you said, oh, blah, blah, we got to go on a case-by-case basis. But that takes time, resource, man-hours, and all that stuff. Generalize, like, I believe that there needs to be a cutoff. Like, not just with driving, but, like, this opens up an entire spectrum of conversations, but we are focusing on one little microcosm of it, which is driving. I think that there should be a cutoff of age, because like giving somebody the privilege, because driving is a privilege, not a right. That those are 2-ton death machines made of metal with controlled explosions under the hood. Do not fuck around with automobiles. But if somebody up there is driving and they can't fully see clearly, or they're like they're starting to not like psychosis, but they're not like 100% because they're old. Things are not all synapses are firing, but now they're behind the wheel of a car, and people have died because of this.
Okay, let me jump in here, and this is twofold. We're talking seniors. This is one half of it. The other is juniors with these electric bikes.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute.
Yes, that's the second point of this. But let me just answer the top point of it. You can't just say no because you're a certain age. Now, you can make it very stringent. Maybe you're at 85 years old. You're only going to have a license for 1 year, and you got to come back, and you got to do a tremendous amount of testing to make sure everything's good. You're going to pay for it because it's a privilege.
Yes.
And you're a danger on it. But you can't say at 85 you're gone, or 75, 85, whatever, because everybody is so different. There are great drivers out there.
I believe you solved the problem. They have to pay for it and re-up every year.
Yes.
Problem solved. Okay.
Yes. And
yeah.
I'm sure if someone can't afford it, someone would start senior funds for these people.
Yeah.
And donate to.
Go
if
to
you
a
can't-
GoFundMe or something.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean,
Like-
there's ways to get around it.
And if you're that age and you can drive, maybe you can work for Grubhub or something. You know.
Well, there you go.
You know, like make use. You know, I don't know. Like.
But you can't specifically you just can't take an age and say, okay, everybody's done it. At
I like
80.
your solution. I really like your. I never thought of it. I really like they pay for it.
Yeah.
You know. Now all the system is doing now is focusing the man hours, diverting them from everybody else to this. But I think it's a really good thing instead of a sweeping thing, because South Park. They always take the piss out of everything and all that stuff. So there was a whole thing in this particular episode. They cut up all the senior citizens' driver's license. They were banned. And then the AARP came in, Red Dawn style, and took the town. And there was a military intervention. And it was South Park, But I just want to play a couple clips here, just to throw in a little humor into this.
Get up!
And hold on a second before we continue. Just pay attention when they're saying goodbye and everything. You backed into that car.
Get off the streets! Get off the streets! Old people are driving! Run!
Yeah, and then this.
Well,
go ahead.
how about, I want to get into some of the young people, the other end of the spectrum.
Yes.
Now, here you've got, I think, a little differently.
Electric bikes and all that stuff. Electric
drive-
bikes should be banned, honestly.
We have electric bikes all over here. Kids going to school on them and everything.
Yeah.
Do
Not getting any
they-
exercise.
Well, that's another point of it too. But I'm just talking about the legality of it.
Yeah.
Do they?
These are
I see
motorized
them
vehicles.
going down the street. They have no idea that they need to stop
Now,
at that stop sign.
I'm
They
gonna
go right
I'm
through
gonna
it.
time you out right there.
Yeah.
You're kind of being a hypocrite because you gave me a
a
GoPed when
different
I was
thing.
16.
Huh?
You gave me a GoPed when I was 16, and that's
Yeah.
a gasoline-powered vehicle.
Yeah.
That has some power.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm not being a hypocrite. I'm saying, I work within the law. If you have to
Yeah.
have a license, I wouldn't let you out if you had to have one.
But see, here's the
My
thing.
point is, I saw a little girl here on a little pink electric bike, and she couldn't have been 9 years old.
Well, look at this kid. That
Yeah.
helmet is the size of his torso. If you need gear like that, you don't have any.
But this one was out all by herself.
Yeah. That's a bad parent right there.
And she doesn't even know that she blew right through a stop sign.
Well, that's a bad parent.
So there does need to be an age here done. Can't go beyond this age, and then even if you're at that age, you still have to pass some kind of a test that you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You can't just nilly-billy get it because now I'm 10, 15, 12 years old, whatever it is.
Technically, it is a motorized vehicle.
Of course
Even
it
though
is.
it's a pedestrian vehicle, it's still a motorized vehicle. An electric bike, a GoPed, anything powered by gas or electric or any other source of energy outside of your legs.
My biggest fear right now is what I'm seeing on the street. There's going to be some kids getting killed.
And there probably already are.
Maybe so. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But there has to be an age specified for that.
Yeah.
And then you have to have some kind of test that you at least understand or can read, something. Something.
This is just, this image is terrifying.
So it's a little different for for seniors, and it's different for juniors.
Yeah.
Nobody should be on an electric bike at 3.5, 4 years old, unless you're on your private property and you have dumb parents.
At the same time, a couple weeks ago, we covered the youngest race car driver. What was it? That 5, 6-year-old Chinese kid?
Yeah. That's right.
racing professionally on the track
Yeah.
with adults.
Yeah.
I don't think.
There's the exception to the rule.
Well, I don't think that should be an exception to the rule. He's a kid.
Except the difference is he's on a private track. He's not out on the city streets.
Well, it's still a kid.
It doesn't matter. It's just what I said now. You could have a 3 or 4 year old on an electric bike on your own property.
Well, no. This
stop
kid,
that.
he's racing with other people.
I understand
in
that.
a full car, he can
I
kill
understand
people with that.
But he's not out on the public streets.
No, he's not. But even in the race course, because his brain isn't developed, he doesn't have the reaction time or whatever. I don't care how good he is. He's still not developed. I don't want. If I was one of those drivers, I would forfeit the race because I don't want to run the risk of me being killed because some 5-year-old is being a 5-year-old.
How about if he fully tested for reaction time and everything else, and he passed everything that any adult can? Would you still be against him?
I don't know.
I say he's good to go.
I don't know. But these electric
but not
bikes
on public streets.
These electric bikes, they are a
I worry
freaking
about this
pandemic, dude. They need to stop. So, yeah. Anyway, what say you guys about the topics that we discussed? You know, this guy, he said a couple other things. You're drawing attention to the judge, probably by design. No, I think he's talking about like the first topic we spoke about.
Okay.
So,
I'm not talking about the judge.
No. He's talking about.
Oh.
You know, he was replying to something to our first article. I'm just reading his latest comment here. So, but yeah, that's about all we have to say for today. You know, like unless there's anything else that you'd like to add or whatever.
No, I'm good to go. And after we disagree or agree, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm okay. You're okay.
There you go.
Yeah. So for all of you and all of us, you know, we do this show the first Sunday of every month, usually, unless you know there's something like somebody's sick, something's out of town, you know, time gets away from us. But we do this generally on the first Sunday of every month at 3 p.m. Pacific time. If not, we do it the next Sunday or whatever, like we did last month, because you were in Texas the first Sunday last month. Right. So yeah. Anyway, for all of you and all of us, I'm A.O. Xander.
Alden right, always right, golden loon. Apparently we're not okay.
Well, your eyes just turned brown. Canadians. Anyway, yeah, we have a history show coming up in an hour and a half here from now. So, tell you guys this next time. Don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe.